Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Legend and I'm back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. Now I know I haven't uploaded in about 10 to 11 days. I've been busy. I'm currently getting ready to go on a trip out of the country to Puerto Rico. So yeah, I got that stuff going on. So yeah, I've still been busy. I'm still going to be busy on my little vacation. So yeah, what if Godly Naruto got a harem in the Attack on Titan universe? Part 2. You got part 1 a couple months ago. Now I'm giving you guys part 2. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this what if. Over this. Over this. Sasha quickly began to do the laps. Naruto continued to walk through the crowd again. He tapped a few people on their shoulders before stopping in front of the tall blonde boy. He turned to him, looked him up and down, and spoke. Name. Said blonde saluted and gave his name. Reiner Braun. From Reiner was cut off before he could finish. I don't care where you're from. I already don't like you. Naruto continued to walk before stopping once more in front of a tall brunette. She wore an expressionless face, and her hair was in a short ponytail. Name. The woman saluted and gave her name. Ymir Fritz, and I'm from. Ymir was cut off by Naruto, not wanting to hear her lies at the moment. Did I ask for your place of which you came from? No, I didn't. And besides, I already know where you originated from. Ymir got a look of panic, but Naruto placed a hand atop her head. Calm down. Do I look like I care? Naruto then turned his head to face Keith. As the Tomos in his Rinnegan began to spin, he vanished as all the cadets gasped, and Naruto reappeared next to Keith. All of those that received a tap on the shoulder, leave this camp at once. You are not fit to serve humanity, and you all would end up becoming pointless deaths. Keith saw a large mass of the cadets leaving. It made his jaw drop. He could count at least 75 of them. Alright, Keith, you want to go first? Keith motioned for him to continue. Alright. This year, we will be doing something different. As you can see, there are 2 instructors here. Some of you, hell, maybe even all of you, will be doing the basics and training with Shadis over here. But for those that can prove themselves in 1 minute or less, then you will go through the more advanced and brutal training with me. Sasha automatically gets a spot due to her strange determination. But this is completely optional. If you get in, you have the option of dropping out. But if you drop out, you can't get back in. Naruto's voice was still coming out as a mix of his own and Kurama's, making him sound more authoritative. Now, does anyone feel as though they have what it takes to train under me? For a few seconds, nobody moved or said a thing. Then a few hands went up, some more hesitant than others. Naruto pointed at a black-haired, overprotective fangirl. Your name's Mikasa, right? The girl nodded as she put her hand down. Naruto spoke again. Why do you want to join and train under me? Mikasa stayed silent for a few seconds before speaking. Because it would help me keep the people that I care about safe. Naruto nodded. He then reached down and pulled a kunai from his boot. He then tossed it at Mikasa. The girl caught the knife, and Naruto spoke. I want you to cut your right palm, and then I want you to slam it to your heart. And then I want you to repeat the reason of which you want me to train you. Mikasa looked down and then moved the blade to her palm, but Naruto was behind her in a split second, his left hand holding her left hand, forcing her to grip the knife harder than she intended to. He then moved the blade to the side of her neck and spoke. You are unknowingly about to swear your loyalty to me, but what if I told you to cut yourself here on your neck? It's not fatal. You'd only feel a pinch. Hell, not even that, with how sharp I keep my blades. Would you still do it? Mikasa said yes, and Naruto smiled. Now tell me why you want me to train you without sugarcoating the reason. Mikasa swallowed before she spoke. I want you to train me so the people closest to me don't have to get themselves killed, so they don't have to go and do more dangerous missions. I'm doing this so Eren doesn't have to do it and get himself killed. Naruto released the girl and smiled. You have heart, Mikasa. I'll tell you what. You can join, but you have to actually want to join, and once you join, you can't back out. If you do this, then I won't let Eren join and train under me. Said boy was pissed off by this, and he let it be known. Breaking formation, he turned and glared at Mikasa before he shouted, You don't have to babysit me, Mikasa. You weren't even planning on joining the cadets. You're here because you're being overprotective. Eren then dropped to his knees as Naruto turned his gaze onto him, moving a few strands of his hair out of the way. He let his Rinnegan shine with the power that he held. Did me or Keith give you permission to speak, insect? Eren shook. He felt so much hate, so much power, malice, and the form of a demon fox loomed over him. He could see his death clear as day, as he could see himself getting eviscerated, decapitated, splayed open. It was hard for him to breathe. He felt as though he was drowning. Answer my question. Eren forced himself to speak as he shook in fear. No, sir. Naruto looked back at Mikasa as his hair fell back into place over his eye, covering it slightly. I thought so. Keith, make sure that one runs 20 laps around the camp when I'm done. Naruto then continued as he looked at the tall boy who acted shy. You, Bertolt. 1 minute, go. Bertolt began to speak. I want to train with you to gain a bigger advantage over the Titans. Naruto looked at him like he was stupid. He watched as Bertolt stole a quick glance at Annie, as who was a row in front of him. Naruto then chuckled as he moved on. He stopped in front of the blonde girl who had a constant resting bitch face. Alright, Annie. I saw you with your hand up earlier. What's your strength? Naruto wasn't surprised when she said hand to hand. So, you specialize in fighting. At the end of the day, you will fight Bertolt. The winner of the two of you will join. Naruto then stepped back and motioned for Keith to take over. Keith stepped forward and spoke. Jaeger, 20 laps around the camp, starting now! Eren started to run, and Naruto vanished in a black blur before he appeared in front of Sasha. As she bumped into him and fell, before she could hit the ground, Naruto caught her. Alright, you can stop running. You're done for the day. Get some rest. Squad dinner will be in 4 hours. Time skip. Naruto looked out of the window of the kitchen. He formed the shadow clone before leaving as the clone started to work on squad dinner. His black Rinnegan glowed before he vanished and appeared in the sleeping quarters of all the trainees. He slowly looked around. He then slowly started to walk forward as he played with a small blade. His actions were deliberate. He oozed nothing but confidence, and him keeping his attention on his blade was a clear message that none of them in the room were worth his attention. He finally came to a stop, finally taking his attention off of the small blade, and spoke. Annie, Bertolt, come. It's time. Mikasa, Sasha, you two are also coming with us. Let's go. Naruto turned and slowly walked, his current students following behind him in the same slow manner. The 5 of them made it a distance away before Naruto stopped, forcing everyone else to stop as well. Annie, Bertolt, you know what to do. The 2 of them stepped forward, and in seconds, the fight that wasn't really a fight was over. I'm not surprised at all. Bertolt, how would you join a program to protect someone when the person that you seek to protect can fold you like a pretzel in seconds? Bertolt said nothing due to his embarrassment. You may go back to the sleeping quarters, Bertolt. Annie, will you take the spot as another one of my students? Sasha, Mikasa, you two can go to the cafeteria. There will be actual food there for my students. Annie, come with me. Everyone began to go their ways, and Annie followed behind Naruto. The 2 of them walked. As they walked for a while, now 50 miles away from the camp. Do you know why I brought you out this far, Annie? The blonde girl shook her head as she looked at Naruto's back. Of course you don't. You still think that we are all stupid. Naruto swiftly pulled out a small kunai knife with a curve to it, as he quickly turned and slit the side of her neck, shocking her. Annie looked at him in horror as she reached up and held the wound before a yellow light started to erupt from her eyes, nose, and mouth. A yellow streak of lightning struck down where she stood, and Annie began to transform, now taking the form of the female titan. There she is. Annie looked down at Naruto, infuriated. He really tried to kill her, forcing her to transform. She had to kill him now, but something was off. He just stood there, looking up at her, not fazed at all. Annie stomped down onto him, but when she moved her foot, he wasn't there. She then heard someone hum. She turned and saw him levitating there, arms crossed and hair fluttering in the wind. She then saw his right eye. It was scary, but also beautiful. The black and white pattern of it. Naruto raised a hand and spoke 2 words. Universal pull. The titan itself didn't budge, but Annie was literally ripped through the chest of the titan as Naruto caught her by the throat. Annie had a genuine look of fear on her face. She was gonna die. This thing was going to kill her. The 2 then touched down and landed as Naruto set Annie down. Calm down, Annie. I'm not going to kill you. I just needed to let you know where I stand with you, and what better way to get someone who can shift to listen than showing them that it wouldn't take any time at all to kill them. Naruto shook his hair so that it could cover his right eye again. Naruto offered her a hand, but Annie flinched, thinking that Naruto would hit her. When the hit never came, she looked at him, then hesitantly took his hand. Naruto pulled her up. Like I said, I won't hurt you. Just swear that you will be loyal to me. Annie glared at him before turning away, calling him an asshole under her breath. Naruto chuckled as he placed a hand on her shoulder, and the 2 vanished in a black streak of lightning. The 2 then appeared back at the mess hall with Mikasa and Sasha. Go and eat, Annie. There should still be enough for you. The next morning, the entire company was outside doing hand-to-hand training. Everyone was practicing except for the students of Naruto. They were doing something more fast-paced. Move your legs, Mikasa. If you can't even move with your hands tied behind your back, Then imagine if someone decided to torture you. Naruto then looked over at Sasha. She was easily treading water in the lake with every single piece of her uniform on. Good job, Sasha. Now, I want you to swim over to Mikasa and I want you to try to drown her until she can get the exercise done properly. Mikasa's head snapped over towards Naruto as she looked at him like he was insane, only to see that stoic and chilling look on his face. Annie then decided to speak. Sir, don't you think this is a bit useless? I mean, surely we would never end up in a situation remotely similar to this. Naruto looked at Annie with a smirk before he spoke. Everyone out of the water now. Sasha, Mikasa, and Annie all exited the water. Naruto simply held a hand out as a steel weight was created along with the rope. One of many ways that the military police perform an execution is by tying your hands and tying a weight to your wrist and dropping you into the canal. Now, since you're so sure you would never see yourselves in this position, I'll force all of you into this position. Naruto tied the weight to all of them and kicked them into the lake. And this is only the easy stuff. Naruto simply sat at the edge of the water and watched them. Sasha was currently chewing through the rope with her teeth, attempting to free herself. Annie was cutting hers with the blade of a ring, and Mikasa, well, she was about to die. Naruto watched as Sasha and Annie surfaced. Sasha looked at him in fear and Annie glared at him. Naruto continued to sit there at the edge of the water and watched Mikasa release her last remaining air from her lungs before he finally stood and split the lake. He jumped in, grabbed Mikasa, and jumped out, letting the lake return to its former position. Mikasa coughed and spat up a large amount of water. Now you know how it feels to drown. I bet if I tossed you in here tomorrow, you'd have a way to get out of this situation. You all earned a 3-minute break. Use it well. That's the only break you'll get until dinner. Later that night, Mikasa, Annie, Sasha, Mina, and Ymir all collapsed in a mess hall. Naruto chuckled in the kitchen as he heard all of his students groan in pain and exhaustion. He ended up gaining a few more students who were also out of it. Naruto continued to stir and clean the clear brown beef broth. He made sure all of his pork and beef were cooked perfectly. In the case of the beef, it was medium rare. He would make sure that his students got the proper nutrition each night after the day that he put them through. The mushrooms were raw since they would be cooked by the broth, and he had herbs added to the inside of the pork belly. He plated everything, ramen first, then broth, then mushrooms, then the meat. Once done, he served all the food. Eat up, you'll need the nourishment. All his students dug into the food like a pack of wild animals. They were completely drained and their bodies hurt everywhere, so the sight of food was a blessing to their empty stomachs. In a matter of minutes, the ramen, bread, water, lemonade, and rice balls were all gone except for the occasional crumb. Good. You all ate. Now, before you all go to bed, I want 75 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. The next day, Naruto walked in front of the line of his students. They all stood at attention like good soldiers, and they looked sharp. Right now, his students consisted of Mikasa, Annie, Sasha, Mina, Ymir, and Armin. Armin, though, he was fragile physically, but mentally, he was an ideal strategist. But Naruto would make sure that Armin left this camp strong. Today is going to be a light day. Nothing too strenuous, except for some of you. Naruto looked directly at Mina. When he said that, he remembered watching her die when he was in his godly plane of existence before he turned back time. It was a gruesome sight. The titan that she'd been caught by, it ripped her arms off as it bit her lower half. Even while the mindless creature was still chewing and swallowing, Mina wasn't dead. She didn't die until the Titan went back for the second bite and swallowed her other half whole. Mina, come and see me after this exercise. Naruto then started to put on a harness as he spoke. Now, personally, I don't use these little 3D gear things that the scouts at Garrison and sometimes the MPs use, and that's because I'm special. I'm not normal, and what I mean by that, Naruto started to levitate. I can fly, and I do a lot of stuff that isn't normal. Naruto came back down and hooked his harness up to the 3D gear training bars. This is what you do. You want to be able to stay off the ground and remain upright. This will help you use the 3D maneuvering gear. The trick is to keep your balance using your core. Naruto then got out of the harness and everyone else began to put their own harnesses on and get started with the training. After a while, they all got it down and Mina Carolina nervously walked up to Naruto. You wanted to talk to me, Naruto sensei? Naruto looked down at the nervous girl. No need to be nervous. Just follow me. We will talk as we walk. Mina nodded and started walking with her superior. Mina, how would you like to be more like me? You won't be able to fly, but you'd be able to do some of the stuff that I can do. Mina looked at him with wide eyes. You really mean that, sensei? I can be more like you? Will it help me with killing titans and saving people? Naruto nodded, and the silence fell between the two of them before Mina spoke again. I'll do it. I want to be more like you. They arrived at Naruto's sleeping quarters. He had already had the preparations ready. Mina, I'm gonna need you to strip down fully. Mina blushed heavily. She didn't mind if her hot sensei saw her nude, but it was the way he said it, like he didn't care, like she was just another girl that he had no interest in. Mina slowly removed all of her clothes and nervously covered her breast and lower regions. A small blue flame then appeared on the tip of Naruto's finger, and he started tracing her chakra pathways and tenketsu that she would soon have. When Naruto was done, her body was covered with finely drawn lines and circular points. Naruto then placed a hand on her slightly toned stomach and looked at her. This will hurt a lot. Naruto started to channel his own chakra and Mina screamed, all the while Sasha watched from the outside of Naruto's window. But guys, I'm going to end it off right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, I'm out and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.